All right, guys, what's going on? Today is the event that some of you have been waiting for all your life. With no joke. All right, so today we're going to be exclusively talking about the path that you will be taking from a visa to US citizenship. Okay? We're going to be discussing mostly the talent visas and the national interest visas, okay? The EB2NIW and EB1A, also O1, and maybe we'll touch on O1B. We're going to have a very quality time, so you guys get ready. I'm here in Miami, Florida, prepared to go for hour and a half with you. All right, so hopefully you guys all charged up and you're ready to go and get the best knowledge in the industry through this webinar. Okay, so let me guys know let me know where you're from. We had about 150 registrations for today. Of course, people register, people forget, but I know that you who are present here right now in Livestorm, you guys the ones who will be coming to the US, not the ones who registered and didn't come, okay? So let me know which countries you're from so I could relate to your country. And if you can, let me know the profession that you are developing, that you're self-developing in this profession. That would be great if you could drop me a few professions so I could make examples out of it, okay? Because I will be making examples of the real cases, and you guys know I have hundreds upon hundreds approvals in different categories. So a lot of professions going on. So if you give me your country and your profession, that would be good. So don't slack. I want engagement. I want engagement from you, so I know that you guys present and you listening and you want to get the most out of it, okay? So do that, please. What you will learn today, you will learn the talented visa categories overview, okay? The exploring the options for professionals, so which visas are there. You also will know the way how to prepare the documents and the key stages in obtaining the green card. You will learn what is the employer's role in getting the green card, and do we really have to have the employer to get the green card and then the citizenship, okay? Also, I will be giving you some tips on how to best demonstrate your skills for the purpose of USCIS approval, and you guys will be able to ask me questions, and I encourage you to ask me questions. I encourage you to drop the comments, and if you guys didn't get something, if you want more explanations or something, because let me know if that's what's going on, because this whole thing is all about you. Okay, I know this stuff. My team knows what's going on. You're the ones who need to get as much as possible out of this webinar. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. Tonya, pharmacist from Nigeria. Tonya, that sounds like green card to me. Okay, the pharmacist from Nigeria sounds like green card. Let's see. My name is Emmanuel. I'm from Ghana. Very good. So we have two people from Africa, and let me tell you guys. Last week we got two approvals from Africa. One from Cameroon and one from South Africa. Both of them EB1A. And actually both of them are in the business category, which again, I don't care which category you're in. I think STEM categories has more benefits. So pharmaceutical industry is above business in my book, but again, we're getting approvals in all categories. Okay. We have clients from Nigeria. We just actually filed EB2NIW for one of our clients from Nigeria. We don't have anybody from Ghana. So Emmanuel, maybe you're going to be the first one. So let's see. I will complete my PhD in psychiatry in Australia in November 2024. Emmanuel, PhD in psychiatry sounds like a green card to me. Okay, anyone who has PhD, I give you 99% approval rate for EB2NIW or EB1A. Okay, we'll talk about this a little bit more later. Leondina would love to continue working with customer service in aviation field. It's good. It's good. I think this could be like a project in a national interest, or it could be B1A, depending on how much recognition you have in the field. So also pretty interesting. And Leondina is from Cape Verde. Okay, Cape Verde. Where is Cape Verde? It sounds very familiar to me. Which country is that? Let me Google it real quick. Cape Verde. That's what? Those are islands, right? That's the Republic of Cabo Verde. Okay, we learn something every day. Very good. Never had anyone from that small republic, but hey, I would love to have somebody from there. Close to Senegal. Okay, yes, 10 islands. Yes. Thank you, Lendina. Thank you for explaining it to me. Okay, Manuel saying that he had his master's in the United States. This is very good. Very good. Okay, guys, I think we have a lot of people from Africa, and I think this is a good thing because my opinion on Africa and just overall, unfortunately, there is most of Africa is like I would say 90% of the population is below this line where we can push them anywhere, but those 10%, like you guys who are present here, from regardless if it's a Cabo Verde, if it's Senegal, if it's Cameroon, if it's Nigeria, you guys with education and the professional skills, you guys get all the chances. Okay, so you have the best cases that are possible. All right, so let's move on. I have two gifts for you guys today. Gift number one, you will be able to know how to get a free evaluation of your case. Okay, what's free evaluation? Free evaluation is when you fill out the questionnaire, and within 2 days I get back to you with initial analysis of your case, letting you know which program is good for you, which criteria will satisfy, and if you have a potential in the case. Okay, so this is very important to do. That's the first step on your way to immigrating to the States. And gift number two, a guide on how to get a US talent visa. Guys, this guide is specifically designed by me. Okay, you don't find this stuff online anywhere. Okay, so this is a unique opportunity. So stay tuned. The gifts are going to be at the end. I recommend basically for you to focus on this 1.5-hour presentation and have notes. Guys, please take notes. You won't have the recording of this webinar. And even if you, let's say, if you want to record it from the screen or whatever, you're not coming back to this, okay? This time that you allocated for this webinar is very important, okay? You're already here, so be focused, ask questions, and take notes, okay? Very important, because otherwise you're gonna waste a lot of time. Okay, so a few words about who I am. My name is Stanislav Shamayev. I am an experienced business immigration and corporate attorney. I've been practicing law for almost 10 years, and I've been more than 12 years in American jurisprudence. I helped more than 2,500 people for these 10 years, and these people are from 50 countries worldwide, actually probably around 60 countries. I'm a member of Florida State and Broward County Bar Associations. I'm also eligible to practice law in Florida Courts of Appeals and 11th Federal District Court of Appeals, which takes up to 3 states, Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. But I can help you with, regardless which state you're from or which state you're going, okay? Because immigration law is federal. So yes, I'm in Miami, Florida, but if you're going to California, Hawaii, Alaska, New York, doesn't really matter. I will be able to help you. Also, my company has about 100 people working in it, and we specialize in 3 types of visas: the business and investor visas, the talent visas, that's the topic of today's webinar, and the work visas, okay? We do not take any other cases. No asylum, no deportation, no immigration court, no family immigration, no student visas, nada, okay? Nada, nothing, zero. Only business, talent, work visas, okay? So we have specialization, which I think is very rare in the immigration field. Usually immigration attorneys do everything, okay? We do very specific things in that field. All right, so write the comments. What do you guys want to know? If you have general comments or something you want to learn more about, it's time to do it right now. So let's see what else going on with the comment section. And by the way, guys, those of you who are on a Livestorm platform who registered for the webinar and here right now, you guys have the privilege and the benefit of doing this. That's why I'm seeing your questions first. We have people on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook tracking the comments, but you guys get the second preference, okay? Because of course, those who registered, they're the first preference. So my assistants are gonna drop the questions also from those platforms. So still keep commenting and keep asking questions. All right. Leandina says, actually, we have a good relationship with the USA. Excellent, Landina, excellent. That's what I want to hear. We want to make friends. We don't need any enemies. Okay, question from YouTube, Nirmal. Canadian citizen born in India, medical technology, sales and clinical applications. Okay, sounds very good. Because you were born in India, Nirmal, your priority dates are gonna be going by India, right? So your case should be for O1 or EB1A, not EB2 and AW, because you're gonna have 15 years to wait. By the way, guys, fresh news. Fresh visa bulletin was just released. No changes. And on top of that, there is bad news, okay? I know nobody likes the bad news, but that's what we're facing right now. USCIS told us that in the middle of the summer 2024, we're gonna start having regressions for the visa bulletin. And they didn't say which categories, but I assume that they mean EB2, EB3, and EB4, okay? Very likely EB1A is gonna be either current or maybe 1-2 months behind, but EB2, EB3 are going backwards. This is bad news for those who didn't start doing the cases. However, guys, this is also good for you to understand that if you have the case for EB1A, for EB2 and AW, for O1, doesn't really matter. You need to start working on it right now. No wasting of your time, because if you wait, nobody knows what's in the future. We know what's going on today, we know the past, but the future is close from us, okay? Maybe in 5 years, in 3 years, the wait is going to be so long that it's going to be impossible. So while we're still here having reasonable wait time for EB2, EB3, and other categories, you need to do your cases right now, okay? That's the main message from this news. Okay, let's take a look. Coffee, hello from Cote d'Ivoire, based in Japan, teaching English. All right, Cote d'Ivoire, very good. I believe it's Ivory Coast, right? That's the alternative name. We do have people from Japan. Never had anyone from Cote d'Ivoire, but really good teaching English. Actually, I have a client from Cameroon right now who's PhD in English teaching, and we're getting him EB1A. So teaching English is very good. Okay, oh God, Emmanuel is like 2 a.m. in Sydney. Guys, that's the motivation. Look at Emmanuel, 2 in the morning, and he's here because he wants to get here in the US, and this type of people, this kind of people are ultimately getting here. Okay, Emmanuel, my big respect to you. WhatsApp, Leondina, not sure. What about WhatsApp? You guys always can connect with me through WhatsApp. James, I'm in London with a master's degree in theology and religious study. Pretty impressive. I'm interested in immigration to the US in the shortest time possible. I'm on a limited visa period in UK. James, I will let you know all the ways that are open to you, and you need to get a free evaluation at the end of the today's webinar. And the family, yes, definitely. Leondine is like, why backwards for the visa bulletin? Because they're getting a lot of cases, so they create a backlog, and that's why we have the regression. Yes, Coffee says Ivory Coast. Yes, look, guys, you gotta agree, guys. You gotta agree with me that Ivory Coast is the most beautiful name for the country in the world. You know, I'm from Russia. I live in the States. I think US is my home, and I love other countries. But Ivory Coast, guys, what a name, huh? Beautiful. Emmanuel says, I watched your interview with Waka Yama, doctor on YouTube. Yes, Dr. Waka Waka. He's a really good guy. Okay, guys, let's go. We're limited on time. We need to push through a lot of material. So buckle up. Let's do this. We start with O1 review. Then we do the EB1A review. Then we're gonna go with criteria, because O1, EB1, the same criteria, right? Then we're gonna switch for EB2 and IW, and then the rest of the gifts and explanation of the next steps and the free evaluations and all the good stuff at the end, okay? So stay tuned. Guys, O1 visa will allow you to legally work and live in the United States, okay? It's initially given for 3 years, but you have the unlimited extensions. It's extensions by 1 year, okay? Unlimited extensions. So this is good stuff. You can also travel. There is no obligation to stay in the US. You can go back to your country. You can come back in the US, and also you can bring your family. You can bring your spouse, and you can bring your children under 21 years old. And I'll let you know about the 3 years limit. Also, guys, O1 is really easily transferable to EB1A to the green card. Okay? There is no limit on how many O1s are getting approved every year. So as many as we need, and as many as got approval will come to the US. Okay? You can be an expert or a professional in any field: sport, science, education, business, or art, okay? So, or anywhere in between. We only need to satisfy 3 criteria out of the 8. If we're talking about O1A, there is O1B, but because O1B is only for art and movies and this kind of stuff, we will not have time to discuss the criteria for O1B, but it's also possible to do. So O1A for sport, education, science, and business. Okay, so the majority of the categories. So we want 3 criteria by law, but my recipe is 5 criteria for 1. And let me tell you guys, in my career, I had only one denial of O1B, by the way, visa. Long time ago, probably 2 or 3 years ago. Since then, we had probably more than 100 approvals of O1. So 99.99999% approval rate for O1. I think this is really good. And anyone can get O1. Okay, anyone can get O1. So, and I know some of you is like, okay, Stanislav, O1 is great, but it does require an employer. And I do not have an employer. And this is a great question if you guys ask it, because the O1 gives you an option to register your own company in the US. And we can help you with that. And that company of your own can become your employer without employees and without capitalization of this company. So O1 is a really good and relatively easy way to come to the US through your own company and then start building on top of that. Okay, maybe then we'll go with EB2 and IW, maybe we'll go with EB1A, maybe you find an employer who's going to sponsor you for EB2 or EB3. We don't know, but you're here in the US and you're able to work. Okay, this is amazing. This is amazing. And there is no limitation like H1B. And again, we get approvals for those visas with almost closed eyes. And you'll be like, oh my God, this is so good, amazing, Stanislav, this is so good, best visa ever. Does it have any negative sides to it? Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, yes. There is only one negative side to O1 visa. There's only one. And for some of you, it's not gonna affect you, but for some it will. And that is your spouse with O3 visa. O3 is a derivative of O1, all right? Dependent of O1, will not be able to work. Okay? So I think this is the this is kind of big for some of you, but for some of you not. Maybe some of you are not married, or if you're married, you don't care, you're gonna make enough money for the family, or you don't want your spouse to work. I don't know the reason behind it, but you should know about it. Okay, you should know about it. Everything else is just an amazing. Okay, there's only one little negative thing that may affect the decision of some of you. Okay, so let's take a look. What else going on? Emmanuel says, please discount, guys, discount. Emmanuel, because of the quality of work and the number of people and all this greatness that we bring to the case, we don't really have a discount, but there's something we can do about that. Okay, there is something we can do. So when you go through the complex immigration planning, and that's the next important step in your way to come to the States, after you pass that thing, we can discuss it. We can mention that you've been to the webinar, and we'll discuss it. Oh, Wusu. I have US tourist visa and currently scheduled for my student visa. How best do you think I can get a green card as early as possible? The fastest way is EB1A also. EB1A. Leondina, O1, if you go out of the country, how long can you be out of the US? Pretty much, there is no limitation on that. There is no limitation how long you can be outside, because in the petition, we're going to explain what exactly the scope of your work. And it's possible you may have to come to the US only once a year. It's possible still to get O1, okay? So we can work with that and see what exactly your task and your needs and build your case around it. All right, Leondina says, "Yeah, sounds amazing. What's the catch?" And yeah, there was a catch. And Leondina says, "Yeah, not married, so doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me." There you go. And maybe Leondina, maybe you come to the US and find your love here. So I mean, you never know. Okay, guys, let's move on to EB1A because that's the overview of O1. Now we're gonna overview the EB1A and then discuss the criteria, right? The criteria. So, guys, I don't know what to review about EB1A because it's a green card, right? I know it's called a visa, EB1A visa. So, Stanislav, I got my EB1A approval. When do I get my green card? You already got it. Okay, you already got it. It's just called visa yet because it changes the name to the green card when you cross the border. Okay, and not from the Mexico to the US one. No, when you fly to the airport and you show your visa and you go through the process, that's when it turns into the green card. Basically, it just changes the name. It changes the name, okay? And then you'll get your card by mail in the address that you mentioned in your petition. The second option to get the green card as a card, if you adjust your status while you are in the US. So, for example, Owusu said that, hey, I'm gonna be a student and I'm gonna be in the US. So if let's assume that Owusu has enough recognition and achievement for EB1A, and we file the case while Owusu is here, we can ask the US government to send us the card in the mail. Okay, the green card. That's possible. It's possible. It's a little extra to the case, but you don't have to go to the embassy, go to the interview, wait, and maybe administrative procedure. We don't know, okay? But it's much better. It's a lot more benefit. So the green card gives you 10 years, but in 5 years after getting your green card, you will be able to apply for the US passport. And guys, everybody knows that US passport is the world passport. You almost become the world citizen, okay? The global citizen. So that's what we want. That's the end of our journey, okay? And of course, the whole family gets the green card. So if it's you, your spouse, and 2 kids, so 4 people altogether, everybody is getting a green card. All right, so let's start with the requirements. Let's see what else you guys have to say. Okay, Crystal. So if you EB1A is approved and you're not in the US, you don't have to go through the consular proceedings. It's actually the other way around, Crystal. And I'm sorry, maybe I misspoke, right? If you are in the US when your case is approved and your priority date is current, and for EB1A it's almost always current, right? Then you can file the adjustment of status and get your green card while you're in the US without going to the consular processing, right? If you are outside and you cannot get to the US, then you have to go through the embassy. Emmanuel, please, I will finish my PhD in psychiatry in November 2024, and I'm not done with the PhD. As I'm not done with PhD, if I start the process now, can the fact that I'm pursuing a PhD help my chances of getting approval? Emmanuel, if you start now, and you have to start now, we will be filing your case only in November. The earliest is November 2024, because it's going to take us 6 months to finish your case. Okay, and it doesn't matter, PhD, no PhD, it's not about that. Okay, it takes us 5 months to prepare the evidentiary base when you work with a team by my strategy. Okay, then it takes me 1 month to draft a memorandum. What is memorandum? Memorandum is the most important document in your case, where I describe and explain and argue to USCIS why we satisfied all the criteria in the petition. That document is usually anywhere between 50 to 150 pages. If it's EB1A, it's close to 150. If it's EB2 and IW, it's closer to 50, but it's huge, okay? And it's based on the evidentiary base that we've been describing for the past 5 months, okay? So it's not gonna affect you in no way, because by the time when we file, you're gonna have your PhD. Okay, good question. Siri, I like to go with EB1A, but it's very expensive. Can you get a discount if 2 of us file with you? Guys, it's so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. First of all, the prices that we have, and guys, the lowest price you can get with us for EB1A is 13,000. Guys, it's below the market. It's below the market, the average, right? The average for EB1A is like $15,000 to $18,000. And I know there are attorneys who would do for 10, for maybe for 12, or Lord knows, right? But what are you getting for the money that you're spending for your petition? That's the main question, okay? Because maybe someone is going to do it for 1,000, but what they're going to give you for that? Are they attorneys? Are they licensed attorneys? No, not 30, Leonida, 13. 13. Okay, 13000. So, what are you guys getting for this? You're getting a team of 5 to 8 people attached to your case who are leading your case. You get 2 attorneys on your case. You get the templates. You get the examples of how your document's gonna look at the end. And you're getting, most importantly, the expertise of years of practice, of people who specialize in your type of visa. Okay? No one is gonna give you this. You get the communication, clear communication with the attorney and the team. Those attorneys you mentioned, guys, you write them email, and maybe in 2 weeks, you're gonna get an answer. Okay? Your case is streaming live when you work with my team, okay? So yes, it's not cheap, but this is the investment that you're putting in your life, and not only your life, but generations ahead. And we give you more than 90% of the chance of approval for EB1A and 95% for EB2 and IW. Whereas in the industry, it's about 50%. Okay? So we almost, you guys need to balance things out, because it's not only about the price. It's important, but it's not only about that. It's about your chances and the convenience of your work and the resources. Okay? So when you look at the price from this perspective, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different because you may pay 10, but you're not gonna get approved, okay? And you may pay 20, same thing, if you don't provide for this 20. So for 13, you guys get like the resources for 13 is like for 20, okay? So, and by the way, we split the payments and we work with you guys. We work with you. So this is, and I'm sorry I took a little bit of time, but I think it's very important to understand. Those things are very important. And yeah, but if you give us 2 cases, 3 cases, of course, okay, so we're more loyal to clients like this. Katie, no recordings, no recordings. Vil says that it's going to be available on YouTube maybe for 1 day. Okay, then it's going to be removed. We don't keep the webinars. Emmanuel says EB2NW, yes, very good. Katie, I was told you needed media to increase likelihood to secure O1A, EB1A. Is it true? Absolutely, absolutely. Katie, I think I fulfill all criteria and will create a startup, but I don't have media coverage and I only have money for the visa. Well, Katie, I need to say everything. Make sure you fill out the free evaluation form at the end. I'll let you know how to do this. and I will let you know. Because if you have everything else and I accepted it and there is no media, we can work with it, okay? But we'll talk about it in detail. Is there any way to get it for free? If you mean the media, Katie, of course, if the journalists agree with you. Crystal, I'm confused because you said that the visa means you get the green card. So if the visa is approved and I'm outside of the US, what would be the process then? Do I just travel to the US? Yeah, no, you'll have the consular proceedings, Crystal. You'll wait for the interview, you'll go to the interview, they will put the visa in your passport, they will stamp it, and then you will come here with a green card. Leandina's like, oh, 13. I thought 30. Oh God. Yes, Leandina. And I'm sorry, maybe I misspoke. 13. Yes, 13 for both EB1A and EB2NW. That's what it is. Katie's like explaining to the Crystal. There are two ways to process adjustment for status and consular processing. Yes, exactly, two ways. If you're outside of the US, you go to the embassy in your country, and if you stay in the country, you can adjust, meaning change your status. Okay, Katie, thank you. You guys, you see, Katie is prepared. Katie is ready to go, guys. look at her. She's like, I got 5 criteria, or maybe 7, and I have my startup idea. I know the process. Let's go. There you go, Katie. Very good, very good. Okay, Lendina. Well, after, can you explain to us the means of payments? Should it be full or we can? Yes, I kind of already mentioned. So it's 3 payments. It's 3 payments, guys. So yes, I want the whole thing in the beginning because I know we will deliver. But because I know it's inconvenient to you guys, we split it in 3. Okay, in the beginning, on the 3rd month, and at the end. Okay. So it's very convenient, and we take all kind of currencies. Crystal, okay, Crystal. All right, Crystal and Kitty is like, okay, we're gonna have our conversation here. Don't mind us, guys. Yes, Emmanuel, we have payment plan. Okay. To apply, Crystal is still confused. Crystal, don't worry about this, Crystal. Focus on approval first, okay? In my company, we have the embassy communication department. So let me guys explain how it works. First, you go to the department of approvals and the department of strategy. So you're working with 2 departments in my company when we're developing your case. After you got an approval, your case goes to the Department of Communication with the embassies, and the new team is leading and assisting your case to get through all the bumps of this process. So don't worry about this, okay? We'll focus on the criteria first. Katie, I did your team has approved me for O1 and EB1A. Good, Katie, very good. If that's what your free evaluation said, I mean, the next thing is complex immigration planning. Okay, EB1 have law degree. Katie says, yeah, like, okay. Dia says, do we need English tests? No, guys, no English tests. Okay, neither for O1, no for EB1A, no for EB2NW. The only visa that requires the English test is H1B. Okay, but that's not the topic for today's discussion. All right. Oh, by the way, guys, let me know. I got a new bonsai tree here. Let me guys show you. I got a new bonsai tree. You see this baby? Let me guys know if you like it, and if you're gonna come for later see me and you're gonna see how it grows. It's gonna be like this big because I love plants, and this is the new addition to my office. And it's right to my book that I wrote. It's still in Russian, guys. I wrote a book last year. It's in Russian, but we're gonna get the English version, My clients who read it in Russia, they said it's the best immigration book that we ever had. So it's a good comment. All right, so let's get to the juice, guys. Let's get to the juice. That's what we're here for. The requirements, and let me explain how I'm gonna go about it. So O1 has 8 criteria. EB1A has 10 criteria, but the 2 for EB1A is they are for the art category, okay? Which means we're not gonna cover them. Not because like we don't like art. We love art and we're getting the approvals of that, but because it's so limited, we're gonna focus only on the 8 criteria, okay? And they go both to O1 and EB1A. So let's start with the awards. So first, we're gonna discuss the classic way how to satisfy the awards, and then I'm gonna give you the alternatives, and then let you know what kind of documents will approve this criterion. So the classic way is that you participate in competitions in your professional field. So, for example, we have Uche, who is in pharmaceutical area, right? So let's say Uche is participating in some kind of competition for pharmacists, okay? Maybe like some chemistry formulas, or maybe they give it a task and whatever that is. The only thing that I want to see in such competition that it has a national recognition. So meaning if it's a local competition, like in a city, maybe in a district, maybe in a state, in a republic within the country, that's not gonna work. Okay, we need the whole country to participate. All right. There are some exceptions to this. I'm not gonna address them. There are some narrow exceptions where we can get a local competition if it still has the national recognition. Okay, and it could be any prize. Okay, first, second, third places are all good. All right. How many awards do we need? At least one, guys. At least one is good, but the more the better. Okay, if you give me 2 awards, like wow, it's good. If I have an older award, let's say 5-6 years ago, is it still gonna count? Yes, it's gonna count if you continue to be developing in this field. Okay, if you didn't stop developing, then there's no expiration date for the awards then, and for this purpose for any other criteria. Okay. What are the alternatives to the competitions? There are a lot of alternatives, guys. The medals and other type of awards from the government in your country. Okay, so let's say Katie has a medal or some kind of other award from the government in her country, saying that this is the medal for contribution in the business development in the country. That's gonna be an award. Okay. Some type of grants and scholarships could also be an award if we can show that they have the national recognition. Okay. What are the alternatives? If you participate in conferences and you deliver something, you deliver some kind of thesis, some kind of publication or something at the conference, when you actually speak at the conference, and they publish wherever you delivered, guys, this is an award. Okay? This is an award. Sometimes even participation in a big conference, which has huge recognition, even without the publication, could be an award. Okay? And the last example of alternative is if you have the investment in your business project starting with $100,000, that in itself could be an award. Okay? So I hope I guys expanded your understanding what award is for the purpose of a talent visa. What's the way to prove that that's actually happened and all this on all this stuff, right? The letter from the organizers of the competition. Okay, that letter has a specific structure. It should have things like how often this happens, how many participants there were, is it national or international, who are the jurors, is there a press coverage for this competition, who are the sponsors. And the more of this we have, the better chances that it's going to have the national recognition. Okay, and same for everything else. If it's an investment, a letter from the investor. If it's a competition, if it's a conference, a letter from organizers of the conference. If it's a maybe if it's a medal from the government, maybe we don't need the letter from the government. We can pick up it from the internet. Okay, but in most of the cases, this is a letter. And if you have an award, it's a picture. If you have pictures of you getting that award on the stage. Very good. Okay, very good. Okay, so let's move on. Media about you, press coverage. So first, where can those articles happen? And guys, don't mix up the media and published articles. Okay, the media is about you. The published articles are by your authorship. So you drafted them, you wrote them. Okay, those are two different criteria. So media is about you when a journalist is taking an interview or writing an article about you. And that would happen in two mediums. Number one is in a national press. Okay, national press of your country or another country. Okay. How do we know if it's a press, if that particular website or newspaper or whatever that is national? Well, if there are a bunch of factors, but it's the good place to start is to know how many visitors their website has on internet. And again, most of the articles are online now, so nobody reads newspapers anymore. Everybody reads the news online. So a good place to start is 15% of the population of your country. If it has 15 or more, maybe 20, it doesn't automatically makes it a national newspaper or website. A better way to say, but it's a good start. It's a good start. Okay. The second medium is the professional newspaper, professional website. Okay. How do we know if this journal, magazine, or newspaper is professional? The audience, the readers, are the professionals. Okay. So let's say if we have some kind of newspaper or journal from aviation field, right? Like Leandin is from aviation field. So that journal is for people in aviation, like business and aviation. So I'm not going to read it. Katie is not going to read it. Emmanuel is not going to read it. But Leandina and like people are going to read it. So it's a professional journal. Okay? And the visitors don't matter. Okay? Visitors don't matter. So these are two mediums. Now, what are the criteria to the article itself? And you guys need to put this down. 3 requirements. Number 1, there is a title. Okay, there's a name. Number 2, there is a date when it was published. And number 3, there is an author. The most importantly, guys, the author. Who was the journalist who wrote that article? Okay, so 3 criteria. And also the content. What's the content in the article? It must be about you and or your work, your projects. Okay, I guess this one is the easiest. So the whole article must be about you. It might touch on other things, but mostly about you and your projects. Okay, if there's only one paragraph about you, it's going to be a part of the case, but it's not going to satisfy the media criteria. Now, how many articles do I need? For O1, I want 3 to 4 articles. For EB1A, I need 4 to 5. Okay? And if you guys like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? We have the partners who help our clients with getting this criterion satisfied. Okay, the PR agencies. All right, let's move on. Let's finish with this first 4. Then I'm going to go with your questions and we'll go for the second 4. The third one is the scientific or academic articles. And here I need 3 to 4. Okay, also 3 to 4 for O1 and EB1A. And guys, those, and I know a lot of you like, oh, Stanislav, I have this article published here and there. We need scientific academic articles, guys. I mean, especially for EB1A. Especially for EB1A. O1, maybe we can use some articles in somewhere else where you drafted something. But the officer's expectations are for the academic or scientific articles. How do we know that it's a scientific or academic? Well, the style of writing and where it's published. It should be a peer-reviewed medium, okay? Journal or something, indexed, and there's another way to say it, indexed journal or magazine. So yeah, also we have partners, vendors who help our clients to smoothly go through this process, okay? Get the publications, find the best journals, expedite the publishing time. So basically these criteria are always satisfied. The fourth one is a leading or critical role in organization with a high reputation. For O1, 1 is good. For EB2, EB1A, I need 2. And again, it's guys, take it with a grain of salt when I say how many I need, because there is like average, but also like with Kathy, right? She doesn't have media, but she has everything else. So maybe there's a different combination, okay? So I give you like the average, but of course we can work with it. So we need to satisfy 2 things. First, we need to prove that organization, company, corporation, association, federation, whenever you worked, has a reputation. How do we prove it? Well, we look at the bunch of factors. How long this company has been in business, how many people employed, does it have prizes, does it have press about it, does it have famous or big clients, do we have the good reviews online and things like that. Okay, so the more of these we have, the better the chances that we will prove the reputation of the company. It could be big and famous, but it also could be small and unknown, but still with a reputation. Okay, I had one case. There was a small company in like basically in village in Russia, and there were like 10 people working in this company, and nobody knew and nobody knows and nobody will ever know about this company, but they were working with Walgreens and CVS in the US, drafting the architecture of drugs forecast, like forecasting the effect of the drugs. Okay. Like, oh my God, what's going on here? Like this, there's like a bunch of doctors working with the huge companies. Nobody knows about them, but you know, by means of working with CVS and Walgreens, big corporations in the US, they had a reputation. Okay, so don't look at the size and being famous. There's other things that are important. So that's number 1. Number 2, your critical role, meaning that you played an important function in this company. Leading role means that you were directing and controlling people in the company. And either or, critical or leading, you should play an important role in this company which can be measured by money. Either you made more money for the company or you saved the money. Okay? And this is just in general. There's a lot of going on. Like let's have an example. Let's take coffee. Okay, coffee from Côte d'Ivoire. So he's an English teacher and he's working in Japan. So let's say Coffee is working in this company that teaches Japanese people English, and he created the course which he's teaching. Okay, so for the purpose of the company, that's a big thing because he created the whole course which they offer to the customers, to the clients. So that makes them money. Okay, so the Coffee's company is gonna draft a letter for us. They're gonna say, hey, since Coffee came to our company, not only he brought his knowledge and experience and everything else, but also he did the course for our students, and that's why we were able to sell this course to these people and we made a lot of money on this. Okay, so Coffee has a critical role in a company with a high reputation, and I hope they have a high reputation. Usually any educational company has a high reputation. Okay, so let's give you now another example. Okay, James, who is in London right now, and I believe James from Nigeria, judging by the last name. So he has a religious study. So James is working for some non-for-profit organization, religious organization, and he analyzes the religious texts for them. Okay, and that way they can more simplistically explain those texts to the people who come to the organization. Okay, and that way they attract more people and they make more money. Okay, I think I made my point, guys. I think I made my point. So what's the way we prove the leading critical role? Guys, there's only one way. A letter from your organization. Sometimes you worked in the organization a long time ago and there's no more people you know, no problem. Just find someone who worked there with you, even if that person is not working there anymore. That person can write a letter, okay? Sometimes the companies merge, sometimes company become bankrupt or they just disappear. Also no problem. Find the people who worked with you at the time and they will write the letter, okay? All right, good. Let's go to the next to your questions, guys. Let's see what's going on. Okay. From YouTube, the question from YouTube, Jagno. Powerful information. Yes, guys. Not only it's powerful, guys, it's the only and the best. No one is doing this for you. Okay? No one is committing an hour and a half to explain this stuff to you. Okay? Only I do. All right? So I'm thankful that you appreciate it. I want to come to the US with the visitor visa and can I adjust to a work visa? Can you guys approve that for me? Definitely, Jagna, definitely we can do this. So that I surely contact you because I want to come to the US. Jagna, you will need to fill out the free evaluation. At the end, I will tell you how to do this. Okay, I'll take a look. Katie, interesting. I'm in creative tech, marketing and advertising. Katie, I just got a fresh EB1A for a marketing specialist this week. This lady is from Russia. Now I'm launching my business. I want to strengthen my chances. Do pitch competitions or VC investment count as an award? Absolutely. Absolutely, Katie. Pitch competitions. Yes. These are the competitions. Absolutely. And VC investment. Sure. Absolutely. With media, do podcasts or new media, YouTube and interviews count? Could count, Katie. Especially for O1. They could count. Leandina, can you guys hear any sounds from each other? No mix are on from. Yes, guys. I don't think there are mix microphones going on here. You can hear only myself. James, are articles in book of proceedings acceptable? Book of proceedings. I'm not sure, James, what you mean by book of proceedings. But yeah, if we can qualify that either as a professional media or a national, probably yes. Coffee says thanks, you're welcome. James says of conferences, book of proceedings. So I need to know more about those books, James, because who can publish in them? What's the process of getting published in those? So I'll need more information, but definitely it's going to be part of the case. Duzan from YouTube. How long is the current wait for the EB3 visa? Greeting from Serbia. Yes, guys, greetings. I love Serbia. We're actually going to open a company in Serbia in the future. Dusan, right now, skilled EB3, and I may be off 1-2 months. Skilled is October 2022. Unskilled is November 2020. Okay, so these are the EB3 for right now. All right, good questions, guys. Keep up with questions. Those are real good. Let's move on. We have a lot of things to cover. The 5, judging the work of other professionals. Guys, the most flexible and encompassing criterion in the universe. All of you, or overwhelming majority of you, will satisfy this criterion, because all we need to do is to assess, review, and judge of work of other professionals. What are the settings of this process? The classic way is a competition. If there is a competition, you are a judge. Also, if you are in a committee that assess the students starting from master's degree, okay, master's, PhD, and whatever, graduate school, whatever that is. If you're the one to pick some kind of articles or for publication, or creating a short list, if you're picking people to speak at the conferences, the professional conferences, this is also judging the other professionals. Okay, those are alternative ways. And most importantly, guys, since August 2023, there is a big change in EB1A, and USCIS allowed us to use your day-to-day work in the company, yours or somebody else. If a part of your work is assessing the work of other professionals. For example, you are an engineer and you're working all day doing your engineering stuff, and then a part of your job is reviewing the work of other engineers. Okay? This is judging. Guys, this is judging. You got it? Okay, we're gonna move on, guys. And same thing, a letter. If it's a competition from organization, if it's from the committee or whatever, you were picking whatever, the publications, the people for the conferences, if we're assessing the exams for the master's degree students and things like that, letter from them, from the university or whatever. If you are doing it as a part of your work, a letter from your employer. How many judgings do I need? I like 1 for O1 and I like 2 for EB1A. Let's move on. Contribution in the industry. Guys, contribution in the industry. It says 2, but it's a mistake. Contribution in the industry, okay? It must be original and significant. Original is no problem, something new, okay? Significant, that's where the difficulty is. We need to prove that it meant something to the industry, in the industry. What's the way to prove it? The easiest one is being used, okay? It's others use it in the industry. It brings some benefit to the industry. Second, people are copying it. People are stealing it, whatever you did. Okay, some other companies, some other startups starting doing it after you. So stealing basically is good for this criterion. Also, the press about the contribution. And guys, here comes the PR agencies. Okay, we can address your contribution in the press and kill two birds with one stone. Okay. Also, what are the examples? What are the examples? A lot of examples, guys. Books, courses, innovations, new technologies, speaking at the conferences. Also, monographs, publications with a lot of citations, methodologies, algorithms, the new trends, the new techniques, new approaches, patents, intellectual property. All these are examples of the contribution in the industry. Okay? I think I almost exhausted the list. Okay, there's more, but I gave you pretty much 95% of all the contributions that are there. All right. Sometimes your contribution could consist from a few others, smaller ones creating a big one. You spoke at the conference, you wrote an article, you also maybe you were mentioned in a book, and you have an expert opinion letter. So all that together is a contribution. So what are the ways to prove contribution to in the industry? The expert opinion letters. Expert opinion letters. Okay, those are the best things. How many contributions do I need? Guys, give me at least one. If you give me one, I'm happy camper. The more the better. But one is we don't usually. It's hard. It's hard to get a contribution. So if we have one, it's good. Associations. The rarest criterion, guys. That's almost never happens. Okay, why? Because to count a professional association as a criterion, we need to do two things. The charter, the bylaws need to call for outstanding achievement to be a member. Okay, that's one. And number two, those who accept the new members must be the experts on a national level. This too is just very hard to find. But of course it happens. It happens. And of course we need to see the charter, the bylaws, and a letter from the association. Commercial success, guys. Commercial success. Your salary must be higher, at least 30% higher than the average salary in your profession, in your geographical location, in your city, in other words. Okay? I'll say it again. Your salary must be at least 30% higher than the salary of average profession in your field, in your city. Okay? And the way we prove it, of course, you pay the taxes on your salary or your income. And there are other ways to prove it, but we're running out of time. So if you make money through other means, we can use it. And we need to show the statistics of that country, of that city, how much they make in the profession, compare it to you, and show you pay the taxes and you made that money. All right, guys. And also 15 recommendation letters. And you can call them expert opinion letters. Guys, my company, my corporation, the only company in the world, in the universe, who created the program NEO, okay, the program NEO, where within the current clients of the company, we find you the match, up to 4 matches, and you guys exchange the expert opinion letters, the best evidence in your whole case. So that's one of the benefits you guys get when you work with my team in my corporation. If you get this letter outside of my company, and you can get that outside of the company, you will pay probably anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 for it. So for 4 letters, you would pay 4 to 6,000 to get them in your case. You can get it for free as a part of your package in my company. Okay? It's a side note. Otherwise, 15 recommendation letters. I don't know why we have 2 slides for the same thing. I don't know about that. Okay, recommendation letters. Let me go through the cases. Guys, the case, by the way, you see this O1, talented businessman from Cameroon. We already mentioned we got him EB1A last week. Guys, Zuo Bruno, go to my YouTube, find his interview for O1 visa. Now we got him EB1A. Really good case. O1A visa, a marketing specialist from Brazil. The lady was working for Facebook and she was on H1B. She lost H1B. We, within 2 months, prepared the case for O1, got her approved, and now she's working her EB1A case. EB2 goes to EB2, but whatever. Neurologist from Germany, guys. Sebastian Müller, he also gave us an interview on YouTube. Find his case. Really good case to understand the basics for EB2 and IW. And EB1A. Aidana Amarova, she is from Kazakhstan. She also, we have an interview with her on YouTube, and she's a talented designer from Kazakhstan. She got an EB1A. Okay, so those are the examples, guys, of the EB1A, and somehow EB2 and IW got in here. So let me see your questions, and let's move on to EB2 and IW. Okay, Wando, as a medical doctor, what criteria do I have to meet to apply for the EB2 and IW? We're gonna discuss it, Wando. But also don't disqualify EB1A, guys. Last year, we got 10 out of 10 approvals for EB1A for doctors. 10 out of 10, okay? So don't discontinue EB1A for doctors. Guys, I think EB1A even better than EB2 and IW. Yes, Sebastian Müller from Germany, he's a doctor. We got him EB2 and IW. But I think EB1A is always better for doctors, depending on the case. Depending on the case, okay? Coffee couple, please tell me the price for EB1. Okay, guys, I know you're interested in prices. So the complete filing of the case, O1, 11,000. The complete filing of the case, EB1A and EB2 and IW, 13,000. Okay, so 11 and 13. There are other prices. There's more to this with other services added to it. Okay. Katie, judging others' work and company is now allowed or has been discontinued since 2023. Katie, that's the thing. Now it's allowed. I don't know if it was discontinued. I think it's never been on the book. Let's put it this way. Now it's on the book. If so, would the performance review of others' colleagues count? Yes, if you assess the hard skills, not the soft skills. All right, so yeah, Kate is like, wow, I'm getting the green card. All right, guys, let's keep the EB2 and IW is a green card. Okay, so all the advantages. I'm a firm believer, guys, that EB2 and IW and the 90% of my filings in this category, in STEM category. I'm a firm believer this visa is for STEM. We have EB2 and IW in business, we have it in culture, and we have it in sport. Okay, but those are 10% of the cases. 90% is STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Okay. So let's cover the criteria. And if you compare EB2 and IW with EB1A, we need to satisfy 3 by law, we can choose. And of course, for O1, I want 5 criteria. For EB1, I want 6. So we have higher chances. EB2 and IW, we need to satisfy all the criteria. Okay, we don't have the flexibility. Okay, well positioned is good. Education, I don't want to prove it. No, guys, everything we need to prove. Okay, and don't mix up the exceptional ability criteria in EB2 and IW with extraordinary ability in EB1A. Okay, those are two different things. Exceptional ability for the purpose of EB2 and IW only comes in if you don't have the education. That is an alternative to one criterion, to one big criterion, education. Okay, everything else needs to be in besides that. Okay, so don't mix those up. So the first thing is education. What are the alternatives? Number 1, bachelor's and 5 years of experience in the specialty. So if we have Uche in pharmaceuticals and his education is in the pharmacy, his experience must be in the pharmaceuticals. Okay. So number 2, master's degree does not require any experience, but I will tell you that we still need that for other criteria. And number 3, if we don't have the enough education, we can do the exceptional ability in the middle of the big slide. Okay, and you can read it yourself. So once we have that, the second thing, we need to propose an endeavor, a project that's gonna be in the national interest of the US. How do we know if what we propose is in the national interest? Well, national interest is broken down in 2 things. Number 1, substantial merit. And number 2, the national importance. It's still not enough to understand, right? So what I mean, we need to resolve some kind of problem in the US or globally. That's substantial merit. And the resolution of this problem is a national importance to the US government. Okay? So that's the that's the theory. I'll give you the examples, guys. Don't worry, I'll give you the examples. Now, the last one is the well-positioned. Okay, so we have the education or exceptional ability. We're proposing the project X, and we claim it's a national importance, national interest. Now, we need to prove that we are well-positioned to implement this project. How do we do that? Everything that you've done in the past should explain how you're going to implement your project in the US. So your education, your past work, your projects, your publications, your conferences, anything that you've done in the past, your number of years of experience, your professional associations memberships, right? The amount of money, maybe contribution you've done in the industry, all that cumulatively will prove that you will be able to do your project in the future. Now, Stanislav, where do I get my project? Where will I get the idea of my project? I don't know where to start. I have the answer to that, guys. Look no further than the past 5 years of what you've been doing. Actually, look what you've done today in the morning, afternoon, and the late afternoon. Just see what you've been doing. And 90% guarantee that you will find something that could be translated to the US and could be a project in a national interest. Okay? Now, what's the practical way to show that there is a national importance? White House policies, they're on the website. USCIS policies on the website. US press laying out the problems. Publications, expert opinions, professors, teachers who say that there is a problem here. Statistics, census. Okay, census is the US government agency that counts the population and collects the statistics. They lay out a lot of problems. Different non-for-profit organizations, ecology, the production, the IT companies, they lay out the problems to which you may have a solution. And guys, your solution should not be unique. It's not like, oh, I'm the only one. No, that's not what the law says. The law does not talking about the originality of your solution. It only talks about a problem and having a solution to that. Even if a lot of people doing this, it doesn't really matter. So that's what the EB2 NIW is about. Now, Stanislav, can you give us a few examples of recent EB2 NIW approvals? Absolutely. Besides the EB2 NIW for Sebastian Müller, our German client, whose project was based on his experience to help American drug companies, by the way, pharmaceutical companies, right? Uche, if you didn't watch Sebastian's interview on YouTube, you gotta do this. That's gonna be very helpful to you. So his proposed project to expedite the approvals of new drugs. Let's analyze it. What's the problem we're resolving? That the new drugs take a lot of time to go through all the procedures to get on the market and to the consumers. Okay? And if the consumers don't get the new drugs, they die. Okay? So does the solution to this problem is a national importance to the US government? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no questions asked, right? Even pure logic. The faster we get the drugs to the market with quality, right? The more lives we're gonna save. That's it. Example number 2. Actually in the business, NIW in the business. And our client from Russia, she is the businesswoman. She built her business on flower shops. She opened one flower shop in LA, and she actually specialized in peonies. If you guys know peonies, those beautiful flowers. So she opened one in LA, then she opened one in Miami. She started opening another one, and people started approaching her with franchising opportunities, and that was her project, franchising of her flower shop, which showed the success and the employment and taxes, and also she wanted to develop the plantation with the peonies. Another example is a talented engineer from Israel. His proposed endeavor is optimization of the processes in the control system in the US plants. Okay, guys, any optimization of the processes, any modernization is in itself an endeavor. Okay, continuing legal research, scientific research is an endeavor in itself. Teaching STEM professions is another example of project, of the endeavor. All right, let's talk about the presents, guys, and then we'll finish up with a few questions from you. So I dropped you the link in the chat how to contact my company through WhatsApp. Also, you can scan your QR code and you will be redirected to the WhatsApp. So I'll take a second for you to screenshot or just Scan it with your phone. Now, gift number 1, the free evaluation. Guys, QR code number 1 for talent visas, QR code number 2 for EB2 and AW, and if we have athletes here, guys, a separate QR code for athletes for the sport. And also, I'm dropping, Will is dropping the links if you cannot scan the QR codes in the chat. Okay, so click on the link or scan the QR code, it's the same thing, to get a free evaluation. Guys, do it now. Do it now. Don't wait till weekend, till Mother's Day, whatever, okay? Do it now, all right? You're fresh, you remember. Trust me, the quality of the analysis is going to be good if you give me a lot of details. Give me 2 days, so by Friday, the latest Monday, I'll get you the free analysis, okay? And if I see that you have a potential in your case, and the potential in your case means that within the 6 next month, we can make your filing better, file it and get an approval. That means you have the potential, okay? I will invite you to the complex immigration planning, where I will build a written strategy of filing your case and give you the list of documents. All right? The second gift, guys, for those of you who stay till the end, is my guide. It's unique guide. It's nowhere to be found anywhere else. So also scan the QR code to get the link, download it because the link is going to be closed within a few days. And also Will is going to drop the link in the chat for the same thing. Okay, so guys, download it and use it. Now we'll finish up with the questions. Also, guys, sign up to all my social media. I recommend YouTube and Instagram are the priorities for you. Okay, YouTube and Instagram. Also TikTok, X, and Facebook. All right, you can screenshot the screen and then follow me on those social media platforms. Or you can find me by the name. Okay, if you put the name and the platform, of course, I'm gonna pop up. All right, let me take a few questions from you guys. Katie, will things that are important... Okay, so let me rephrase the question. Katie is asking, if Trump becomes the president, will there be any changes? Guys, definitely. When Trump becomes a president, and I say when, because I'm sure he will become a president, things will change drastically, for the better. Okay? And I know it's unconventional view, but guys, trust me, believe my experience. I've been an attorney when Obama was the president. I've been an attorney when Trump was the president. I've been an attorney when Biden as a president. And let me tell you guys, when Republicans are in power, the legal immigration goes up. Illegal goes down. Oh, and the bubble. When Democrats become presidents, the legal immigration goes down, illegal goes up. Okay? Easy as it is. So you wanna wish Trump to become president because it's gonna be easier for you to come here. Okay. Leondina, I already did it before the webinar, but I believe the O1 would be a better option for me. Should I go or should I do it again? Leondina, unless something changed, you don't have to do it again because it's the same information. Unless you want to provide me more details, okay? More details, then yes. Otherwise, come to the complex immigration planning, and I will go deep in your petition. Katie, you talked about traditional media, but I want to go the webinar podcast route. How do we select the best podcast webinars? Is the same approach? Katie, it's not the same. It's not the same. For O1 purposes, yes, that could be the thing. But for EB1A, it's not gonna close the criterion. It's just you're gonna waste the time. Okay, so O1 is good. But still, I want to see those podcasts and whatever YouTube channels, webinars or whatever. But for EB1A, that's not going to come in. Okay, it's going to be a part of the subjective criterion, yes, but not the press. Okay, Katie got it. Leondina, is because I just started the company and I hadn't not stated it on the questionnaire. Yeah, the company is probably not going to do much difference, especially the fresh company. That's not going to do much. So Leondina is probably going to be what it is. Okay, I have one more question in the question section. Bola. I have, I believe, masters in international business and management here in the UK. I ran my personal business in Nigeria for over 5 years in supermarket and bakery before moving to the UK in 2022. What's the way forward? Bola, probably both. Both. The EB1A 01 route and also the EB29W. I need you to fill out both links, both questionnaires, EB1A and 01, so I could see the full picture, and then I'll be able to qualify you more exact. Okay, Landina, very good. All right, guys, 1:31, beautiful. Beautiful, 1 hour 31 minutes, right in time. I gave you all that I wanted. Thank you very much for being here. Use the gifts, fill out the questionnaires, don't miss out on these opportunities. Otherwise, I wish everyone good luck in your immigration way to come to the US. Don't forget that my company is numero uno, guys, numero uno. There is no other best. Okay, there's no second best. Okay, and these are not my words, these are the words of my clients. All right, so don't judge me by the number of approved cases I have. Judge me by the number of denials I have, which I have very few. Okay, so everybody, I wish you luck, and remember, your future begins here. Good luck.